President Trump is going for the gold. Or at least he's sending Elon Musk to go for the gold. The all eyes of the DOGE team have landed firmly on Fort Knox, Kentucky. Fort Knox, where the U.S. gold reserve is supposedly being kept, although that, just like everything else we thought we knew about our government, is now up in the air and being questioned. Just like we thought the USAID was really doing good things for the United States of America and its international investments, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Now we're looking at the Fort Knox facility in Kentucky to see if Fort Knox is still holding all of the gold that they say that they're supposedly holding. Elon Musk has brought into question whether or not the gold is there, seeing as how there has not been a full audit in over 50 years. U.S. Senator Mike Lee from where's he from? Utah. Thank you. Wrote, as a U.S. Senator, I've tried repeatedly to get into Fort Knox. Fort Knox, you can't come to Fort Knox. Me, why? Fort Knox, it's a military installation. Me, I'm a senator. I go to military bases all the time. Fort Knox, you still can't come because you can't. Elon Musk then teased that it would be cool to do a live video walkthrough of Fort Knox, I imagine with the DOGE team. The libs of TikTok reiterated that and said Elon Musk wants to stream a real-time video to tour Fort Knox so Americans can see for themselves if the 4,580 tons of gold is really there. I'm going to be honest with you. This has a lot of Al Capone's vault being opened by Geraldo Rivera vibes, only hopefully the outcome will be totally different. I don't want Elon Musk opening up Fort Knox after like 4 hours just to find out that there ain't nothing in there. I want the 4,580 pounds or tons of gold rather to be securely in the fort where we all believe it has been for years. Senator Rand Paul, who's also from Kentucky, he's the junior senator from Kentucky. He said that he's tried repeatedly to get into Fort Knox and has not. However, he believes that the gold is still there.
Well, you know, I've been trying to go down and see the gold and make sure it's all there for about 10 years. During the first Trump administration, I got permission. You have to get permission all the way up to the Secretary of Treasury. And then the Secretary of Treasury said, well, I want to go down there too. And then he said, I want to go down there when the eclipse is coming through Kentucky too, so I can see the eclipse and the gold at the same time. But they came when I wasn't there. So I tried for 10 years. I set up the appointment. And then because they wanted to see the eclipse, they changed the appointment. I didn't get to go down. But the Secretary of Treasury and the senior senator from Kentucky did go down and attest that they believe they saw the gold down there.
So what do you think the problem is?
You know, I think some of them may not think it needs to be audited all the time, but I think the more sunlight, the better, more transparency, the better. Yeah. And also it brings attention to the fact that gold still has value, and implicitly, not explicitly, but implicitly, gold still gives value to the dollar. Yeah. That's why we don't get rid of it. You know, we've got it, the IMF has it, the World Bank has it. Most of the central banks around the world have gold, and it's an implicit trust that the dollar still has some backing.
All right, so Rand Paul is contesting that Mitch McConnell, the senior senator from Kentucky, and also Stephen Mnuchin, who was Donald Trump's first Treasury Secretary, he's contesting that both of them went into Fort Knox and can confirm that the gold is still there. I'll be honest with you, I don't trust Mitch McConnell as far as I can throw him, and I don't know that I could throw him. I don't know that I could throw them that far, although I'd want to. But the DOGE team is, look, they are going through every aspect of the government. They're going through every aspect of the government quickly. They're going through every agency, and they're going to make sure that the people's money, your money, my money, our money, is not being wasted or frittered away. They want to make sure that the government is not lying to you. They don't trust the government to not waste money. They don't trust the government to not pull fast ones or try to connive and scheme with people. And Fort Knox is, a very similar situation. If there is gold in Fort Knox, the DOGE team wants to know. And the DOGE team wants to know because President Donald Trump wants to know. Remember, President Donald Trump is the chief executive, and DOGE works for him. Just like the CEO of a company. CEO of a company has different departments, and the different departments all report to him. Donald Trump's not going to go investigate Fort Knox, but he's going to put someone in charge of it. It's going to be Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is going to show up with a camera crew, and he's going to open it up live streaming probably on X and let everybody know if the gold is not there or if the gold is securely where we believe that it is. Either way, I'm going to be honest with you, it's must-see TV, or in this case, I guess, must see X, I guess is what it would be. Something else that's been going on is the IRS investigation that DOGE has set up. In fact, they've set up an entire X account called IRS DOGE or DOGE IRS, one or the other. And basically what they're doing is they're trying to get people to report any kind of anomalies or complaints, or I guess blow the whistle on any corrupt activities or indiscretions they believe the IRS has had. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, yesterday shared on X a copy of an audit request that he received from the IRS after it was announced that he was to be the Secretary of Defense. In fact, the timing, I'm sure, was coincidental. Pete Hegseth, the SecDef, wrote, "Of course, the outgoing Biden IRS rushed an audit of the incoming SecDef. Total sham. The party of norms and decency strikes again. We will never back down." And he posted the actual letter to him and his wife, Jennifer. "We're auditing your federal income tax return, Form 1040, for the tax period shown above, and you owe a balance of $33,558.16. That's the incoming Secretary of Defense that Joe Biden's team at the IRS decided they should audit. Again, do we believe that that was actually a coincidence? Probably not. But look, the IRS is under DOGE scrutiny for just this kind of behavior, and a lot of people are concerned about it. Stephen Miller was on Fox News, and he was explaining that this is actually better for the American public.
Can you give assurances to people who faithfully pay their taxes in this country? The DOGE isn't just going to go randomly sifting through the records and maybe come across the personal, private records of a lot of Americans.
I can give absolute 100% assurance. I give you complete and total assurance on that point. We are talking about performing a basic anti-fraud review to ensure that people are not engaging in large-scale theft of federal taxpayer benefits. I mean, for example, we pay billions of dollars a year in child tax credit payments to illegal aliens. Billions with a B. So these are systematic, programmatic reforms that we're talking about here. And as far as protecting the secrecy of tax records, the IRS has been weaponized at the career level against the American people for years now. This has been one of the most invasive arms of the federal government, engaging in capricious and politically based audits, leaking taxpayer information for political reasons. We are restoring the neutrality. We are restoring ethics. We are restoring security controls at IRS. In fact, one of the big projects that DOGE is going to be working on is upgrading IT systems and software so that our taxpayer information cannot be stolen by criminals or foreign governments.
It is an overhaul that is long overdue. And you have to realize the reason that the record system hasn't been updated, the reason that the record system hasn't been modernized is because a lot of folks don't want the system updated and modernized. An antiquated system is much easier to take advantage of. If you've got AI running in the background and finding every fallacy or every discrepancy or every anomaly, then it's a lot easier for somebody to get busted. It's very difficult to pull the wool over artificial intelligence's eyes. However, if you've got an old-timey system of manila envelopes and freight elevators and, humans running around just trying to file everything in some folder somewhere, things can get lost in the shuffle and people can make a lot of money. As a result, Caroline Leavitt was very upset with the media for continuing to fearmonger, as she said, that DOGE and Donald Trump are somehow just poking and prodding and trying to get Americans' personal information for dubious reasons. We're not really sure what Donald Trump... Look, Donald Trump is a billionaire. Elon Musk is a billionaire. They don't need to steal any money from anybody. In fact, they want everybody to be richer. And one of the biggest and best ways they can do that is by auditing the government, modernizing the government, cutting back the government waste, and making sure nobody's taking advantage of everyday ordinary Americans like you and I.
I've been fighting fake news reporters all day long here in the Washington, D.C. swamp who are trying to fearmonger the American people into believing that this administration is going after their hard-earned tax dollars and their hard-earned Social Security checks. So I want to set the record straight on your show tonight, Sean, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do so. President Trump has directed Elon Musk and the DOGE team to identify fraud at the Social Security Administration. They haven't dug into the books facts yet, but they suspect that there are tens of millions of deceased people who are receiving fraudulent Social Security payments. And so their goal in going into the Social Security Administration is to identify three things. Number one, to identify duplicate payments and to end them. Number two, to identify payments that are going to deceased people who are no longer living and should no longer be receiving that money. And number three, to protect the integrity of this system for hardworking Americans who have been paying into it their entire lives. So rest assured, to all of the people watching your show tonight, if you paid into the system honestly, you will continue to receive your Social Security checks. Do not buy into the lies from the legacy fake news media who are trying to fear you and scare you into believing otherwise. This is what we've seen them do about President Trump for years with every promise that he has made. And he's going in there to protect your hard-earned money. That is the ultimate goal.
By the way, it's things like this that keep Donald Trump's poll numbers just rising higher and higher and higher. 63% of the population believe that things that he's been doing so far in his first month in office have been amazing. He's been keeping his promises. Everybody knew exactly what Donald Trump was going to do. This is not a secret. Donald Trump didn't run around saying one thing and then get into office and do the opposite. He's doing exactly what he said. He told everybody there's going to be massive immigration reform. He told everybody there's going to be the largest deportation effort in American history, which we'll get to in a minute. He told everybody Elon Musk was going to go through the government with a fine-tooth comb and cut out all of the waste and wasteful, expenditures. That was something that we knew was going to happen, and that's a reason why a lot of people voted for President Donald Trump. Speaking of immigration, Tom Homan was on discussing how immigration, again, is going along swimmingly. However, there are, of course, some barriers. Most of them are Democrats who are trying to stop ICE dead in their tracks. AOC, Kathy Hochul, other, blue state and sanctuary city mayors and governors. But he said it's not gonna stop us. We're going to continue to fight.
First of all, I got to salute President Trump. He's been in office less than a month. I said from day one in your show, Sean, he's a game changer. He proves to the American people every day why I consider him the greatest president in my lifetime. No one's had success like this. But I've said it. I'm happy the numbers are up. I'm happy with the results so far. I am not satisfied. I will not be satisfied till every gang member, every illegal alien gang member, every illegal alien public safety threat and national security threat to eradicate from this country. So we're expanding the amount of teams now. We got Pam Bondi suing the sanctuary cities. We got Christy Noem on now. She's been out. The Border Patrol's been out with ICE. She's done more enforcement operations in a week than Mayorkas has done in 4 years. Our team's coming together. You got the architect, Steve Miller. We're all working together to increase those numbers until we can eradicate once and for all every illegal alien gang member and public safety threat and national security threat in this country. It's all on. Our foot's on the gas, and God bless President Trump for giving us the authorities, the resources to do this job. It's his vision that's making this all possible.
All right, so there you go. Donald Trump sitting at the in the White House at the top of the heap, and he's directing traffic, and he's telling everybody, you do this, you do that, you save this money, you get rid of this waste, you get rid of these illegal aliens, and Donald Trump is doing all of those things. In fact, there was a list posted on the Rapid Response Twitter feed that the White House, Rapid Response 47, it's a non-comprehensive list of wins in President Trump's second term, which, remember, has been a month. Out of 48 months, we're down 1 month down, 47 months to go. And here's so far the non-comprehensive list of wins in President Donald Trump's second term. President Trump declared a national emergency at the southern border. Illegal border crossings have hit lows not seen in decades. Illegal aliens have started turning around in droves amid the Trump administration's crackdown. Construction resumed on the U.S.-Mexico border wall. Deportation flights of illegal aliens ramped up. President Trump began transferring the worst of the worst criminals to Guantanamo Bay. U.S. military troops have been deployed to assist in securing the southern border. The so-called CBP One app, which paroled more than 1 million illegal immigrants into the country, was shut down. The Department of Homeland Security is reviewing parole status of illegal aliens. It goes on and on. The Department of Homeland Security reinstated use of the term illegal alien. The Department of Justice announced it's taking action against sanctuary cities for obstruction of U.S. law. The Department of Homeland Security clawed back tens of millions of dollars in funds paid by rogue FEMA officials to house illegal aliens in luxury New York City hotels. A national energy emergency has been declared. Every one of the Biden administration's job-killing, pro-China, anti-American energy regulations has been rescinded. I mean, it goes on and on. The job-killing Green New scam was terminated. The United States withdrew from the disastrous Paris Climate Agreement again, which unfairly ripped off of our country. Offshore drilling has been reopened. The Biden-era electric vehicle mandate was terminated. President Trump established the National Energy Dominance Council. He shut down the Biden-era Climate Corps. U.S. crude oil stockpiles continue to rise. It's over and over and over again. Saudi Arabia declared its intention to invest $600 billion in the United States over the next 4 years. President Trump announced the largest AI infrastructure project in history with $500 billion in planned private sector investment. On and on and on. It's only been 1 month. 1 month. The Department of State issued a pause on existing foreign aid. President Trump continues to secure the release of hostages. The Iran-backed Houthis were redesignated as a foreign terrorist organization. The Department of State ordered embassies worldwide to only fly the American flag, not activist flags. It goes on and on and on, and it is 1 month in. It is crazy how much Donald. I mean, I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and there seems to be, after 47 months, it's going to be, this country's already unrecognizable from the last 4 years. Thank God. It's going to be ridiculously unrecognizable. And all of this, again, is thanks to Donald Trump. And of course, thanks to Elon Musk and DOGE and all of the other operatives that Donald Trump has put in place. In fact, Sean Hannity sat down with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and Elon confirmed something that the rest of us knew. But he said, look, until you see how liberals react to President Donald Trump firsthand, you really don't understand it. Until you see Trump derangement syndrome in its worst possible state, you really can't comprehend how deranged some of these people on the left really are.
This whole sort of like, they call it like Trump derangement syndrome. And you don't realize how real this is until you can't reason with people. So like I was at a friend's birthday party in LA, just a birthday dinner, and it was like a nice, quiet dinner, and everyone was behaving normally. And I happened to mention, this is before the election, like a month or two before, I happened to mention the president's name. And it was like they got shot with a dart in the jugular that contained like methamphetamine and rabies, okay? And they're like, wow! And I'm like, what is wrong? Like, guys, like, you can't have like a normal conversation. Yeah. And it's like they become completely irrational.
Completely irrational is what they are. Completely irrational is how it's the best way to describe the left. Completely irrational is exactly what the Elon Musk is starting to see. Donald Trump has known it for a long time. That's why he spent the last 4 years preparing his massive comeback. And that's why he knows he has very little time to do the things he wants to do. He's got very little time to figure out a way to make sure that his legacy is secure, and he's doing everything he can every single day to secure it. And today, even at Mar-a-Lago, he's announced that he will be signing more executive orders when the media consent comes into his office at 4 p.m. today. So even when he's in West Palm Beach, Donald Trump is still working diligently for the American people, and he will continue to do so until he fixes this country once and for all. Listen, we've got more stories to report on. There's more news happening all the time, and that's why we have a second daily podcast. Mark Kaye Saves the Republic. If you enjoyed this information, if you'd like some more, hey, that's why we're working all the time just for you. So all you have to do is go to your favorite podcast platform, search Mark Kaye Saves the Republic, download, listen, and enjoy.